Paramount Pictures has released the highly anticipated trailer for One Love, the long-awaited biopic chronicling the life and musical journey of Bob Marley, the king of reggae. Produced by Ziggy and Cedella Marley, along with the iconic musician's widow, Rita, the film is set to captivate audiences when it hits the big screen on January 12, 2024. With director Reynaldo Marcus Green at the helm, One Love offers an intimate portrayal of Marley's rise to prominence, tracing his humble beginnings to his unparalleled status as a 70s icon. Starring the talented Kingsley Ben-Adir as Bob Marley and the exceptional Lashana Lynch as his wife Rita Marley, the film delves into the essence of the Jamaican culture that became widely celebrated due to Marley's groundbreaking music. Through his timeless songs, Marley advocated for unity, harmony, and respect, captivating hearts and minds across the globe. As his enduring legacy continues to resonate with people worldwide, One Love unveils the power of Marley's story, shedding light on his triumphs over adversity and the remarkable journey that shaped his revolutionary sound. The South African women's national football team, Banyana Banyana, is back on track for the FIFA Women's World Cup following the resolution of a pay dispute. After the entire squad boycotted a game, causing embarrassment for the South African Soccer Association, a solution has been reached. A second group of players is now set to join the rest of the team for preparations ahead of their final friendly match against Costa Rica on July 15th, just before the official start of the tournament on July 20th. Last year, after Banyana Banyana's triumphant win at the AFCON, South African President Ramaphosa called for the eradication of pay discrimination and initiatives to bridge the gender pay gap. To address the issue before the World Cup, the Motsepe Foundation, established by African soccer president Patrice Motsepe, generously provided $320,000 to be divided among the 23 players representing South Africa at the tournament. This funding was announced during a press conference in Johannesburg, signaling a positive step forward for the team. Tunisian authorities are facing severe criticism for their treatment of sub-Saharan migrants, with the country's main opposition coalition denouncing the maltreatment as a disgrace. Hundreds of migrants, including children, have been left stranded in dire conditions in southern Tunisia after being expelled from the port city of Sfax. Human Rights Watch has called for an end to what they describe as collective expulsions of black African migrants, highlighting reports of violence and even deaths at the border area. The head of the opposition coalition, Ahmed Najib Chebbi, condemned the treatment of migrants, emphasizing that rounding up individuals based solely on the color of their skin is a stain on Tunisia's history. Human Rights Watch urged the Tunisian government to cease collective expulsions and provide humanitarian access to the migrants already expelled to a dangerous area near the Libya-Tunisia border. Tunisia has experienced an increase in racially motivated attacks, which were further fueled by President Said's allegations of a criminal plot linked to migrants. The recent evictions have caused migrants to be left destitute and abandoned in the desert, leading to pleas for assistance and concerns over their safety and well-being. Cubic, an award-winning Ethiopian startup, is revolutionizing plastic waste recycling into construction blocks, but its CEO, Kaitis Asfa, highlights the challenges of securing funding in Africa's startup ecosystem. Despite the positive impact and scalability potential of Cubic's climate-friendly technology, Asfa faced numerous rejections from wary investors before finding success in a recent funding round, which coincided with the company receiving the prestigious Africa Tech Award. Startups in Africa struggle with funding, as a lack of individual investors and a bias towards familiar networks limit access to capital, resulting in only 1% of global risk capital being deployed in Africa. Africa's funding challenge persists, with Western investors often exhibiting a bias against the unknown and favoring investments within familiar circles, making it difficult for African startups to secure financing. The lack of understanding and familiarity with the African market perpetuates the perception of risk, hindering the growth and potential of innovative startups. Non-African investors may also be deterred by concerns of fraud or corruption, further limiting opportunities for African entrepreneurs. Without timely funding, many startups are unable to sustain themselves, leading to unrealized potential and the abandonment of promising ideas. In a thrilling finale, Morocco emerged as champions of the U23 Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON, after defeating Egypt 2-1 in an intense match held at Rabat's Moulay Abdallah Stadium. Moroccan fans celebrated their team's victory with fireworks and ecstatic cheers as they lifted the trophy. Despite a challenging contest against the resilient Egyptian team, the Atlas Cubs displayed resilience and fought back with goals from Yanis Baghraoui and Oussama Targhaline in extra time. The victory sparked joy and euphoria among Moroccan supporters, who expressed their elation at the team's triumph. The match showcased a remarkable performance from both sides, with Egypt securing a consolation prize of qualifying for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, along with Marley as Africa's third representative. The U23 African Cup concluded with a thrilling and hard-fought final, leaving Moroccan fans thrilled and proud of their team's achievement. Protests erupted in Nairobi and other parts of Kenya as demonstrators expressed their frustration over the high cost of living and newly imposed taxes. More than 20 anti-government protesters were arrested during the demonstrations, which were organized by the opposition. Police dispersed the crowds using tear gas canisters, while protesters blocked major roads and lit bonfires to amplify their grievances. The protesters, who voiced their discontent with President William Ruto's administration, accused the government of burdening the populace with taxes despite their economic struggles. Implementation of the tax law has been temporarily suspended by a court pending a hearing on its legality, but the government has still enforced taxes on petroleum products. Opposition leader Raila Odinga called for civil disobedience and urged his followers to resist paying the new taxes, further escalating tensions. While some businesses in major cities remained closed during the demonstrations, opposition supporters are expected to gather at a rally in Nairobi where Odinga will announce additional measures in the fight against the new taxes. Bonaventure Ndikong, a Cameroon-born cultural figure, has become the director of Berlin's Haus der Kulturen der Welt, House of World Cultures, aiming to promote post-colonial multiculturalism at the center. The HKW, built during the Cold War for propaganda purposes, now seeks to embrace diverse cultures from around the world under Ndikong's leadership. The recent Quilambismo exhibition, focusing on African slave communities in Brazil, is part of Ndikong's broader vision to expand the center's offerings through performances, concerts, films, discussions, and contemporary art exhibitions from post-colonial societies across different continents. Ndikong's appointment at the HKW coincides with a growing awareness in Germany about its colonial past, prompting efforts to address historical injustices and return looted objects to African countries. Recognizing the dominance of a particular perspective in history, Ndikong has renamed all the rooms at HKW after women who made significant contributions but were marginalized or erased from history. Born into an Anglophone family in Cameroon, Ndikong hopes to open a museum in his home country that brings together historical and contemporary objects, although the ongoing conflict in the restive Northwest region currently presents challenges to this aspiration. Sudan's government boycotted regional peace talks held in Ethiopia as officials from the IGAD Quartet group gathered to discuss a roadmap for peace in Sudan. Sudan accused Kenya of bias and requested the replacement of Kenyan President William Ruto from the meeting. Despite the absence of Sudan, the meeting included representatives from various international organizations and countries, highlighting the urgent need for a political solution to the ongoing deadly conflict in Sudan, which has claimed the lives of approximately 3,000 people and displaced 2.2 million as internal refugees. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed called for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire, emphasizing the importance of silencing the guns. The Intergovernmental Authority on Development in Eastern Africa, IGAD, expressed its commitment to facilitating a face-to-face meeting between the leaders of the conflicting parties and requested the consideration of deploying the East Africa Standby Force, EASF, to protect civilians and ensure humanitarian access. The EASF, primarily involved in election observer missions, may play a crucial role in the efforts to achieve peace in Sudan. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa announced that the upcoming BRICS summit, scheduled for next month, will be held in person, marking a return to physical meetings after a gap of nearly 3 years. As the current chair of BRICS, South Africa aims to challenge the global dominance of the US and Europe through this alliance with Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Despite Russian President Vladimir Putin being wanted by the International Criminal Court, ICC, over allegations of unlawfully deporting Ukrainian children, he has been invited to attend the summit. President Ramaphosa emphasized the importance of a physical summit, allowing leaders to engage face-to-face and strengthen their commitments. South Africa, remaining impartial on Russia's invasion of Ukraine, has pursued a diplomatic approach, advocating for dialogue and playing a mediating role in peace negotiations between Kyiv and Moscow. As the world prepares to observe World Population Day, the demographic landscape is undergoing significant transformations, with India and Africa experiencing notable population growth. India, now home to 1.425 billion people, is expected to surpass China's population in the near future, while Africa boasts the youngest and fastest growing population. With 70% of Africans under the age of 30, this youth demographic offers potential for development and innovation, as they are not burdened by the challenges of an aging population. Tigiste Amare, Deputy Director of the Africa Program at Chatham House, emphasizes the positive aspects of Africa's population growth, including improved access to healthcare and a reduced child mortality rate. She believes that the continent's young population can contribute to long-term security and prosperity through their dynamism, innovation, and focus on climate-related issues. Despite the challenges posed by climate change, African countries are witnessing exciting developments in technology and climate-smart solutions, particularly in countries like Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya, where young people are leading the way in finding innovative solutions to address environmental concerns.